Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach. Today is Monday, August the 9th, 2021, and we are in day 2 of the NBA Las Vegas Summer League. So we are fired up. We're fired up on many fronts. We've got 10 straight days of wall-to-wall basketball. I believe it's 175 games all told once everything is over. So it is basketball heaven for those of us that are NBA fans. So thank you so much for joining us today. Just so you know what we're going to do, we're going to cover every single game, every single day. We're going to have a podcast that'll come out either late evening the night before or early morning the day of. What we're going to do is we are working obviously with DraftKings all these next 9 days remaining because DraftKings is the only site offering games for the NBA Summer League. They have some outstanding, definitely some outstanding contests. They have early slates, full slates, the whole 9 yards. So what we're going to do is, as we go through this first set of games, all 30 teams are playing and represented here. And so this first 3 days really is a lot of teams playing for the first time in the Summer League. So what we're going to do on this podcast is we're just going to touch on each team's roster, point out a couple of people that we feel are roster worthy. And again, I'm recommending to our members that are out there to go light these first get this first game go around with each team, because that'll allow us to pull some box scores after that, really look at who's in their rotation, what it's looking like, because there's a combination here. Remember, you're going to get some of the top rookies, like we saw some of the top guys, Mobley and company, and all the guys yesterday. Now, today, same thing. We're going to see a lot of those top rookies, but we're also going to see some of the later round drafted rookies that are throw up some surprises once in a while. And then the caveat to it is you've got a lot of guys like Kenneth Faried, who's trying to find a team and impress during this summer league. So it's not just as simple as, let's plug in the guys trying to make a team or the top draft picks. There is a different format for every team as far as what they're looking to accomplish in this summer league. So we're going to go through that. Again, we'll go through the teams today. They're offering 8 games, so 16 teams. We're just going to touch on, again, the few of the key players that we're pointing out for today's games, and then same thing tomorrow. But then we will get into looking at box score, breaking it down, and looking at some matchups. And remember this, each team plays 5 games. So we're going to get plenty of games and plenty of box scores to study, and also the eye test and watching as much as humanly possible. And then the way it's working this year is the last 2 days are you're getting the top 2 teams playing for the championship. So it's a little bit different of a format than it was before, where a bunch of teams make a bracket and then they play down. They just wanted to make sure and give everybody 5 good games, and then just get a championship game in there and have a champion of the summer league. Plus, it was put together pretty quickly. It's usually in July, and it's a little abbreviated from the way they usually do it, but we've got it and we're loving it. The other reason we're so excited here at DFS Coach Talk is next summer in July, when they have the regular NBA summer camp, we are going to attend that. We're going to have our first annual DFS Coach Talk convention where we all get together, get to know each other, check out a ton of NBA games. We're going to have a blast. So it's going to be a members only deal. So we'd love to have you involved. Jump in. You can get in for as little as a 3-day pass for $10. We have all different options. We also have a huge football offer that will be coming out as soon as the NBA Summer League is over. That starts on September 9th, and we'll be announcing that as we go forward. Okay, we need to dive into these games so we can talk a little bit about them and definitely try to get some rosterable players for you. If you're really wanting to attack this summer league, this is the time to jump in, because we're going to put out a DraftKings coaches clipboard for every single slate the rest of the way. And that gives you a core group of highlighted players. And it also gives you some other players that you can utilize to fill in your roster. So it'll be, you'll have to select them to fill in that roster. But if you plug in those highlighted and then pick and choose between those on the clipboard, at least it gives you what we feel is a really good shot to cash or to crush it. So there's not a lot of people out there following this NBA Summer League as close as we are. I doubt anybody is. We're going to scour the heck out of this and make sure we have some really strong lineups to provide and get you ready with the clipboard. Also, my partner in crime here, Andrew Hansen, is actually in the process of moving. So best of luck to him and his wonderful family. They are scooting to a new home, and this week's going to be the most horrible thing in the world, packing a house. Ugh. And then moving everything. Yikes. So good luck, Andrew. We'll be thinking of you. And so I'm going to ride this NBA Summer League by myself. Just grit it out. My son Dawson's here with me. He's part of the Coach Talk team. He's watching a bunch of games and throwing his opinion in the hat too. So we're going to get some looks at it here, and we're just going to try to get you as prepared as we possibly can. There is one earlier game today that is a remake from yesterday's game for the COVID protocol. That's not on the slate on DraftKings, so we're not going to worry about that. Also, remember, catch this either late night or early morning going forward. I'm going to do this earlier than I am right now. It's going to come out at lunchtime today, but it'll be earlier the rest of the way because the games start mid-afternoon. So, it's a little awkward, everybody working, trying to get lineups in. But, baseball's the same way, though. Baseball has early games all the time as well. But, check this pod out. Hopefully out by early morning every day so that you can get those lineups together. All right, game one. We've got the New Orleans Pelicans, and just taking a quick look, you've got some guys that I think are, definitely need some attention here. Najee Marshall, 6'7" forward. It's his second year out of Xavier. He showed signs of being tough. I think he'll put some stats together and be a big mainstay in their rotation. Also, Kyra Lewis Jr., we know that he got big minutes when the Pels had a bunch of injuries last year. He's a guy to point out. It's also his second year out of Alabama. Those two guys are really high on my list. There's a third guy, Asjans Pasterniks, and he's from Latvia. It's his third year, and he's trying to make the team, if not hook on with another team. So again, you get guys like that in the freed mode that they're trying to stay in the NBA and make a team. You got to give them some credit. Some of the Pelicans rookies I can mention. I'm not jumping out of my seat for them. It's Herbert Jones, Malcolm Hill, Dalton Holmes, Moses Wright, and David DeLeo. So those are the rookies. But for this Pels team, I recommend Marshall, Lewis Jr., and Pasterniks. Okay, they are playing the Chicago Bulls, who I'm excited for this year. They made some fantastic moves that I think are really going to help them be competitive and make the playoffs this year. Here's some guys. Here's a third-year guy, Jalen Adams out of St. Bonaventure. Definitely looking to connect to a team and, make a roster. Same situation for Jerome Robinson, fourth year out of Boston College. He's a nice player. He's played some backup roles around the league. Certainly somebody that could make a team and will be playing hard. as well as Amari Spellman. He was the big guy out of Villanova. It's his third year. He's 6'8" center forward, undersized, but he has made teams and gotten some minutes, but he is trying to find a home. So that's a guy you definitely want to go after. They have a youngster by the name of Tyler Bay. It's his second year now from Colorado. He is a guy that has potential down the road to get some minutes. But the super stud on this team and one of my favorite plays on this slate is Patrick Williams. He started almost every game for the Bulls last year, 6'8" out of Florida State. They have him playing Summer League because he didn't play a ton at Florida State. He was the sixth man there. And last year he comes in, he's picked high. Everybody gave the Bulls a lot of heat for taking him high. And he had a really consistent, solid season. And I think, he could be one of the studs of the Summer League. So high praise for him as well. All right, let's go to the Dallas Mavericks. They play this next game, and not a strong Mavericks roster. I'm just going to say it's not going to be pretty for the Mavs in this deal. You've got a couple of guys you can look at. They were expecting a lot out of Tyrell Terry from Stanford. He was a rookie last year, but had some personal issues, didn't get a full season in, but they are expecting him to be a good player and somebody you could definitely roster in Summer League. Josh Green, who's coming back from the Olympics, he was a spare player at the end of the bench, but he was on that Australian team that won the bronze. I'm not going to go to him right off the bat here until I see that, he is fully ready to play big minutes, because all that travel and coming back, and traveling back over from Japan, that's a big deal. So keep an eye on him. I think he'll be good once he gets big minutes also. The only other guy I'm going to really say is worth taking a strong look at is guard Nate Hinton. He's second year out of Houston. He was a two-way guy for the Mavs last year. A solid 6'5" guard that can score. So those are really the three standouts for me. Again, we'll study these box scores and see what kind of role they give these guys going forward. But definitely one of the weaker teams, I believe, in the Summer League. Okay, on the opposite side, they have to play the Sixers. So this is not going to be pretty, because the Sixers are absolutely loaded. And they have guys that played strong minutes for the Sixers, and even in the playoffs this year. Right off the bat, Tyrese Maxi. If he gets full run, this is his second year out of Kentucky, he could be an MVP type of candidate from this Summer League. So Maxi, a phenomenal play. Can't go wrong there. Isaiah Joe also. This is his second year out of Arkansas. He was a real nice surprise for Philly, getting some fill-in minutes. And when they had a lot of guys out, he really was impressive. I thought he definitely made a splash. Two more guys from Philly that I think are strong. You've got Frank Mason III, who's bounced around trying to make the league. He was on Sacramento. Now he's jumped on the Summer League here with the Sixers. This is his fifth season, and he's had some backup roles where he's got good minutes. So again, similar in that, I always talk about the Cameron Payne mode, when we saw him there the year before last without a team, similar to like a Frank Mason situation. And he impressed and then was picked up. And now we know, he got the big contract to stay in Phoenix and made it to the finals. So Frank Mason, certainly worth a strong look here, especially if, they're not going to extend Maxi past big minutes. I think Mason is definitely worth a look. And then the other guy that I thought really impressed me last year off the bench for the Sixers, and that's Paul Reed. 6'8" guy out of DePaul, second year, just really hustles, smart player. And I think, he'll make that Sixers roster. And I think they're going to give him a good run to see what he's made of. Okay, next game, we have the Brooklyn Nets. This is an interesting combination of guys here. You've got Reggie Perry, second year from Mississippi State. A nice player, looked good in spare minutes last year, has the potential, to be a nice ball player. I think he's a guy that can make a roster for sure. Elise Johnson, we know that he was a DFS superstar a few games when he out of nowhere had a 21 rebound game and just blew the slate up there. So great guy, fourth year out of Missouri State. With those, the Nets had signed him and he did well. Again, had, when he got on the court, he was fantastic DFS points per minute. So I know he's scratching and clawing. Definitely a guy that I like today. And I think if he's going to get those minutes, you really got to consider him. Couple of interesting guys here too. Would you believe Brandon Knight is on this team? I know. 9th year out of Kentucky, trying to make a roster. I'm not going to go there immediately because I just really want to see if they're going to give him the minutes. But if they do, he's a crafty veteran that knows how to play this game. And, he's going to be scrapping for one last shot to stay in the league. So that's one guy. Then you have Chris Silva, who can play. He's a 6'8" forward out of South Carolina, third year. Another guy that when he does get on the floor is dangerous, and you can consider him. The last guy is another one I like. He's a Quindary Witherspoon. He is a nice ball player, 6'3" guard, third year out of Mississippi State. So this Nets roster has a lot of experienced guys. They don't have a whole lot of rookies that are going to make a big impact that I believe. Day'Ron Sharp is a guy that's been getting some attention out of North Carolina. And that's probably the only rookie that deserves a big mention here. So that is it for the Nets. And they're playing the Memphis Grizzlies. Grizzlies roster, a little interesting. You've got Xavier Tillman. We know what a fantastic job he did. I rostered him almost every game for like 3 weeks straight when they had no center. He came in there and just played his guts out. Second year out of Michigan State. Love that kid. I think he's a lock on that team. But the question is, is he going to get big enough minutes to help develop more of his game? He can shoot the three. He rebounds. If he gets solid minutes, he's going to be one of my favorites this next 10 days as well. After that, you've got, some guys. Zaire Williams out of Stanford's a rookie that has some potential. He's not too bad. The other big guy scorer for this team is Desmond Bain. Absolutely love Desmond Bain. He started a bunch of games for the Grizz. They like him so much, they even traded Grayson Williams just to open up even more time. This is his second year out of TCU. He was the guy the Mavericks were going to draft the whole draft. They had him plugged in. For some reason, they took Green instead. And Desmond Bain made an all NBA rookie second team, I believe, last year. So terrific guy, can fill it up fast. Definitely the scoring player on this team. If Bain and Tillman get good minutes, Grizzlies are going to go pretty far. The year before last, when Dawson and I went to the Summer League, Grizzlies, Taylor Jenkins, their coach, had just taken over, and he actually coached them in the Summer League, and the Grizzlies won it all. So I expect that, they're probably going to try to take another run at it here. And I think Tillman and Bain will be two key guys on that team. Rest of the team's good too. Sam Merrill out of Utah State showed a lot of potential last year. It's his second year. Sean McDermott, same thing. Second year out of Butler. Very, very nice player. And then here's a guy that's trying to find a team, John Conchar out of Indiana Purdue. It's his third season, 6'5" guard forward. he has a little bit of game. So look out for the Grizzlies. They will be dangerous. All right, we keep roaring on here. Charlotte Hornets, couple guys I like here. I love the rookie out of Connecticut, James Bouknight. I think he's going to be a fantastic add to the guards. I think it'll be Ball and Rozier and Bouknight, and that is a great threesome. They got rid of Draymond, Devontae Graham to make that space. Bouknight's a ready player. He's 20 years old. He's got solid year or two under his belt at Connecticut. He's going to be terrific. LiAngelo Ball is on this team as well. So that's going to be interesting to see how he plays and what he's got. Other guys I'm interested here. You've got rookie Scotty Lewis out of Florida. They're expecting good things from him. Vernon Carey Jr., second year out of Duke. He comes in with some potential to make the squad. And then they have a bunch of rookies that'll all get some looks with potential. Kai Jones from Texas, Kenny Williams from North Carolina, and even Denzel Mahoney from Creighton. So they'll be a younger team. I think Bouknight is going to be one of the better dominant players, though, for the rookie group that's playing in the Summer League. Okay, they are playing the Sacramento Kings, and interesting Sacramento group here. They've got that mix of a couple of veterans and some rookies. They have Jameis Ramsey from Texas Tech, rookie. Robert Woodward, the second, 6'7" forward that can play, second year out of Mississippi State. Got to take a look at him. Davion Mitchell from Baylor. Certainly they're going to give him a good look. He was highly regarded coming in. And then a few other long shots. Louis King, second year out of Oregon. And then Metu, believe it or not. He's another guy that coming back from the Olympics. He's fourth year out of Southern USC. Possibly could make the team, so we got to give him a strong look. Also, a few other guys. Rookie Marcus Graves, he went the route to play with the Salt Lake City Stars. 6'1" guard, definitely has some potential. Again, one of those guys that could come out of the woodwork to be good. They really love the rookie out of Duke, DJ Stewart. He's only 19, but I think they'll give him minutes. He's got some good potential, and got to keep an eye out for him. They do have the Alex Antetokounmpo on this squad. He's a rookie, 19 years old, so we'll see how much time he gets. But definitely, one of the weaker teams, I think, as well. But you're going to get, some run from some of these young guys, and there'll definitely be some stars that emerge from that group. A couple of things real quickly. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and up in the top right corner, hit the alert button. That'll let you know when our podcast posts. We have a super busy podcast season this next couple of months. We've got every single day of the NBA Summer League. Then we have some MLB podcasts coming out. A couple of times a week, we'll be doing those. And then before you know it, we're going to have our 3-day-a-week NFL podcast that will cover the Monday, Thursday, and weekend games for, an in-depth look and very intense, certainly podcast for the NFL. And then before you know it, when the NBA preseason begins and they're going to get back on that regular schedule in September, October, we'll be following that. We made 4 seasons in a row now since they've been offering it, 3 or 4. I apologize, one or the other, that they've been offering NBA preseason DFS. We have just been smoking it. So, this preparation following the draft so closely, and now the Summer League, and knowing all the signings and free agent movements really gives you an edge even in the preseason as the regular season rolls around. So it's dfscoachtalk.com. Sign up for any of our packages. If you have any questions, you want to check us out on Twitter. We're all at DFS Coach Talk. I am at JoeSarvadi. If you're listening to this podcast, everywhere podcasts can be heard, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, iHeart, Apple Podcasts, take a second. Please give us a quick 5-star rating and just a quick couple words of a comment. If you do that, you are entered in a contest that we have at the end of each month. So we're 9 days into this month. At the end of the month, our man Joe Stant will pull a randomizer with everybody that left a 5-star and comment on any of the different podcast hosting places. And they will win a 1-week free membership, all access. And speaking of all access, that's the other thing I want to remind everyone. When you sign up for Coach Talk, you become part of our family, part of our community. You get everything that we offer. You get all of our podcasts, all of our Discord information, player news, weather, projections, ownership, everything that we bring forward to our members for all sports. Right now, we're covering baseball, basketball, football, and golf, and there is potential to add one or two, but we want to stay very focused and be the best of the best at the sports that we do cover. So, we're never going to have League of Legends and cross-country skiing and all the other stuff like that. But we are going to have the key sports. We're going to know them and go deeper than I believe anybody out there in the space. So we look forward to having you be part of that. And that is the main thing, I think. Hopefully I didn't forget anything, but that is the situation right now. And now we are going to attack this last set of 4 games. We have the San Antonio Spurs. Very interesting group here. You've got some stars. Devin Vassell, I love him. 2nd year out of Florida State. The dude can play basketball. Then they took Josh Primo from Alabama, super high. He was supposed to be a 2nd-round pick. So they're definitely going to showcase him. The young man's just 18, so he's a baby. We'll see how he adjusts and go from there. How about this veteran, Skal Labissiere? We used him a lot through the years. This is his 6th year coming up out of Kentucky. He's trying to find a team, and certainly if he gets the minutes, he can block shots. He's a talented ball player, so we'll see if he's able to contribute. Rookie 2nd-year player Zach Norvell out of Gonzaga, solid player, somebody that could get good minutes and make a difference. Here's a guy who thinks underrated that could make this league for a while, and that's Trey Jones, the point guard from Duke. This is his 2nd year. He has the skills to lead a team, so we'll see if he's going to get big minutes at the point and try to make a big move there. The other guy that's trying to find a spot in the league that's shown a couple of different stints where he's been a good player, that's Daquan Jeffries. He is 4th year out of Tulsa, nice 6'5" guard that can score, somebody definitely worth also looking at. They'll be playing the Minnesota Timberwolves. Timberwolves, a team that's loaded up with a lot of young talent, and they're putting quite a bit of it on display here. Jaden McDaniels, fantastic, 2nd year out of Washington. Jalen Noel, 3rd year out of Washington, stud. Brian Bowen II, this is his 3rd year. He's trying to make a team. He came right from high school and then playing some G League ball. You've got Kenny Wooten from Oregon. He's a rookie. A lot of upside potential there. Think he could be a strong player. John Ngbunu from Florida. He's a rookie. He's 26. He played full years there at Florida, but he's got a chance. He's undersized center at 6'9", but he is talented. So keep an eye on him. You've got rookie J.J. Culver out of Wayland Baptist. He's another long shot that has game that could be dangerous. And then 2 guys I'll finish up with that got minutes last year. Nathan Knight if you remember in DFS circles, when they had injuries, he was the next man up and got some minutes and did well. It's his second year out of William and Mary, and he's trying to make the team. And then another guy that I thought was impressive last year is the guard, London Perientes. He's 6'1", out of Virginia, second-year player. Another guy that can play. He just needs to get the minutes and get out there. So I really like this Minnesota roster. I think they've got a great group of young talent mixed with some guys trying to make a roster. Okay, next game, Orlando Magic. How about Jalen Suggs? Now, we did get to see a game out of Suggs already. So this will be their second game. We saw some guys that stepped out. It's still a little early to say who the studs are going to be from this team. We know Justin Jackson had a good showing out of Maryland. I think he's somebody that we really want to keep a close eye on. RJ Hampton, he played for the Magic last year. He didn't suit up in game one, but if he does play, he's phenomenal. I think RJ Hampton is going to be a starter in this league. Can't wait to see how it's going to work out now with, they've got so many potential point guards with Anthony and Hampton and Suggs and on down the line here. So Cole Anthony is also on this roster, and he started this last game. He's another guy that could be terrific. Orlando's got a chance to make some noise in this entire deal. How about a guy we played a few times last year, the third-year player out of Michigan, Ignas Brazdeikis? I can never say his name, but I used to be able to say it because I thought he had a chance to be really good in this league. So if he gets some minutes, that will help. Up and down, they've got some great young guys. They have a deep roster. So the key is keeping an eye on to make sure that these guys play. They made the roster, but it doesn't mean that they're definitely in play. The last guy I'll mention from Orlando was their very high pick, and that's Franz Wagner, Mo Wagner's little brother out of Michigan. He's only 19 and a little bit different skill set than his brother. He's a big 6'9", but he plays facing the basket. He's not an interior player like Mo is. So Franz Wagner, if he suits up, is a guy that we have to watch. But really the initial Suggs play is very strong, and then we're going to go from there. All right, they're playing the Golden State Warriors. A guy I'm super excited to see, Jonathan Kuminga. He's a 6'8" rookie, and he didn't go to college, just right straight, went into the Ignite guys that just played that year of pro ball. He's only 18, but is just a freak of nature looking guy that I think is going to be a fantastic player in this league. A tremendous pick for the Warriors, to add to now a great mix of young guys with obviously Steph and Clay and everybody. Watch out for the Warriors. They're going to be a fun team. How about Gary Payton II, again trying to hang on to a team? This is his sixth year out of Oregon State. He moves around. I bet he's played for at least 10 teams already. He's trying to find a spot, so he's going to be playing hard without question. After that, there's a couple of guys I think that are interesting. Ja'Cory McLaughlin out of California, Santa Barbara, doesn't get much attention, but I think he's got potential to possibly play in the league. You've got a guy that got good minutes last year, Kyle Guy, second year out of Virginia. He was on that championship team in college and definitely is decent at the point. He's looking to hang in there and keep his position on the team. So I think you got to take a good look at him as well. Justinian Jessup, rookie out of Boise State, somebody to keep an eye on. Kendall Smith, also the 6'3" guard that played at Oklahoma State on that team with the number one pick. So that's another guy that you can take a look at as potentially rosterable. Okay, last two games. We're flying here. That's the goal. the Los Angeles Clippers. Smaller roster, but some guys that can make an impact. Jay Scrubb, gotta love the name Scrubb. Second year, only 20 years old. Again, he's a guy that came out of like the Ignite program. He is good. He can play. Don't be surprised if he isn't one of the better players on this team, and he's definitely rosterable. Amir Coffey, third year out of Minnesota. He's a guy trying to make sure he gets a roster spot somewhere. They took Braden Boston Jr., 19-year-old rookie out of Kentucky. I'm sure they're going to get a good, strong look at him. You also have Jason Preston out of Ohio. He's the great story guy with the average 2 points a game in high school and just went to Miami of Ohio, went small school, and all of a sudden, boom, he's drafted in the NBA. So let's root for him. I'm sure they'll give him a decent shot. He's only 21 years old, Jason Preston. After that, maybe Keon Johnson as the next guy. He's a guy that they're expecting to make their rotation. He's out of Tennessee. He's a rookie, 19 years old, 6'4" guard. Depending on the health of, some of the players, Clippers are deep, but I think Keon Johnson will definitely make the Clippers team, and he has the potential, like I say, to even get a little bit of rotational minutes if he develops as fast as I think he can. So a short roster for the Clippers, but a dangerous one. The defending champion now of the NBA, odd to say, the Milwaukee Bucks are next. They have some talented players here. Theo Pinson, fourth year out of North Carolina, trying to get on a team. Super stud Jordan Nwora out of Louisville. He had a really, really nice Olympics. He's also a guy that can just score up a storm. If he's back and ready from the Olympics to play, he could be one of the better players to roster without question. I think that he's going to be tough. And then you've got a mixture of a lot of rookies, really, not a whole lot of other experienced players, but there's Jamario Jones out of New Mexico State, who was trying to hook on last year. Decade out of Virginia. He was also on that championship Virginia team. And then you've got a couple rookies. Demetric Trace out of Wisconsin. Great upside for him. Stephen Enoch out of Louisville, and E.J. Montgomery from Kentucky. Those are the guys I'd look at rookie-wise. But if the main guys are in here, if it's Pinson and Nwora especially, I think they could have a really nice summer league. All right, last game, Phoenix Suns. What does it look like for Phoenix? How about Jalen Smith, rookie out of New Hampshire? He played several years there, 26 years old, but he's got potential. He's going to try to catch on to a team. You have the other Jalen Smith with one E. There's two Jalen Smiths on the team, which is going to be funny. But the second year out of Maryland, Jalen Smith's only 21, and they think he's going to be a future guy in their rotation, very possibly. Kyle Alexander, second year out of Tennessee, has potential. Michael Frazier, the second year out of Florida. And then they've got a group of rookies, a lot of rookies. This is not going to be a strong team for Phoenix at all, but they want to see some of these young guys that they were signed after the draft. But I'll give you a few of the names because they're good. They are nice players. Nate Mason out of Minnesota, Vito Brown out of Wisconsin, Zachary Hankins and Tyreek Jones, both out of Xavier, and Emmanuel Nuzewski out of Oral Roberts. Those guys will all get minutes in the summer league and could all make a dent. And then the last team, Utah Jazz. What do we have for the Jazz here? We've got a mixture. You have Jawan Morgan, third year out of Indiana. Udoka Azubuike, who was supposed to be a super stud, second year out of Kansas. See how he plays. Malachi Richardson, fourth year out of Syracuse. So they've got a lot of guys with experience that are looking to make a team. Elijah Hughes, second year out of Syracuse, dangerous. Got to keep an eye on him. Dakota Mathias, second year out of Purdue. He played on the Team USA before all the pros get involved to get us qualified. He can play and he can shoot it. So he's a nice sleeper guy, Dakota Mathias. Kyle Fogg, rookie out of Arizona, highly respected, supposed to be interesting guy, definitely to see if he can make a team. Jarrell Martin, fifth year out of LSU. And then, believe it or not, DJ Funderburk. I remember when Funderburk's dad played, so it's been quite a while. He also played at North Carolina State, and just like his dad. So he comes in at 6'10" forward, very athletic guy, dunker. So we'll see where they go. But I would count on, Azabaki, Morgan, Elijah Hughes. They've got some guys, Dakota Mathias, that can make a big difference. So that is the rundown, my friends. I tried to get through all of it as quickly as possible. Like I say, tomorrow it'll be very similar. And then we should be able to start talking about box scores, hone in on the guys that are getting the big minutes. But always remember, too, if you're filling out lineups or getting stuff done, there's so much you have to follow here, because what happens a lot of times is if a guy gets a little bit of an injury, like Giddey, the point guard, the 6'8" point guard that was drafted very high, came out, first play, crossover, two-handed dunk, and then he hurt his ankle. So guys like that, a lot of times they'll shut them down because they just don't want to risk worse injury. So we have to keep our eyes on guys, like Giddey, to see if they're going to continue to play. Also, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, but as an example, let's say Jalen Suggs plays the first 3 games, looks great, no problems. They may want to rest him, sit him out the last couple of games because they've seen what they need to see and get some other younger guys some minutes. So there are so many moving parts that you can't even believe it. It's a tough thing, but what you got to remember, we still have a big edge here at DFS Coach Talk, and everybody that's playing it is in the same tough situation. There's nowhere you can go to find concrete starting lineups. You just have to roll with it, stay on Twitter, look at the local beat writers and news feeds, keep following the news, but let us do a lot of that for you here at Coach Talk. We'll be posting things in Discord. All of our members also will be following and watching through everything as well. So that is it, my friends. I will either do this podcast for tomorrow later this evening or much earlier tomorrow morning, so it gives everybody a chance to check that out. But that should give you a pretty good size clipboard of who to pick your guys from. And again, you have plenty of time here to get signed up today. Go to dfscoachtalk.com and you'll see all of our information. You'll be invited right into our Discord, and then that's where we post our coaches clipboard for DraftKings for this. We're also posting a ton of baseball today, so we'd love to have you. All right, appreciate it. For the entire DFS Coach Talk team, I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach. We'll look to catch you again tomorrow when we look to crush it in NBA Summer League DFS.